All right, guys, so my first video showing you how the Babyliss Clipper can be shutting off. I showed you how this tension spring could get out of place when adjusting your blades or replacing your blades, and be pressing this plastic tab right against the motor, which will be causing friction and eventually cause it to start shutting off once it gets hot enough. And there'll be even greater friction when this is being pressed on it with the blades moving back and forth. And eventually you will have this thing shutting off. Just like that. So, fix for that will be pressing it down and making sure it's against that black metal tab when you're replacing the blades. So one of the things I didn't mention, and I had this problem with this Snap FX, it could be crooked blades. Crooked blades will cause friction to make it shut off as well. Not only that, if you don't have them oiled, sometimes you just need to oil the blade. The motor is a little sensitive to that. And the last thing is that it could be a bent tension spring where it's bent out a little bit. This one isn't bent too bad, it's slight, but that could cause friction as well. So this video is going to double as I had to take the Snap FX apart because I couldn't find any videos online about that. And I'm going to show you what I did to completely, from the ground up, basically get this machine running. So first thing, you take the battery out, take the blades off, the cutting blade and the cam filer out. Now we'll take the lever off. And I always like to do this on this angle because it has a little sleeve that it sits inside. And I try to keep it all together. Okay. Bracket, slide it back. Tension spring, pull it towards you, pop right off. There's a little plastic piece on here. Sometimes that comes off, so it kind of snaps in. Put that to the side. Remember which way it goes. Now, magnetic part off. We have these two screws right here, which we'll take out. Okay, now this is the part that probably has a lot of people stuck because there's no screws here at the bottom. But you'll see right here, there are tabs. This is a little cap on the bottom of the Snap FX. And the way this comes off, and remember, this little tab has to go to the back or else the battery won't fit when you put it back together. So I have this little pick tool to get in there, loosen up the tab, and I'm going to pull up when I do it. So let me just do one side and then get in here, do the other side and pull up. And there you go. Now the sleeve will come off. And you'll see two more screws right there. Okay, now that all the screws are removed, this part can come off. Just lift it up. And the next we'll have to do is take off the motor housing and the motor bracket. These screws you'll need a smaller screwdriver for. Now we'll take the motor bracket off, and then we could get the motor off. Now you might hear some things move around. Now basically, this is kind of important. This little nut will have to go in the same spot, and I'll show you where it goes. And this is where we cut off that plastic tab. Now on the Snap FX, it's black. The rest of them, it's white. Okay, so now that we had that plastic tab cut off, we're gonna have to put this back. And this little section right here, you need this part. You can't get rid of this whole part. This part holds the nut in that holds the click lever in. Now first, in this little slot right here is where the nut will have to go with that smaller part facing inside of the clipper, just like that. Now this little piece right here is going to go right on top of it, so it goes in just like this. And you can push it down, but just make sure it's in there good. And then we can lay the motor back in to its spot and then screw everything back together. And remember, this little tab goes to the back here. Check the battery fits. Battery fits. Motor still runs. Plenty of clearance in there. Let's put it back together. Clips in. Good to go. So now I'm going to put a new tension spring in. I probably want to make sure this is straight too. So that looks pretty good. Slide the bracket in its track right here. Now we have to hold it down. Line this up. Click lever in. Now, when putting this in, make sure that the little hands on the tension spring go all the way in the hole, like so. Get the blade back in. Make sure it's oiled. I already oiled these up. Screws back in. Now you want to make sure this blade is centered back here too. Have everything right. Line it up. Make sure it looks good. Blades look lined up pretty good. New tension spring. More clearance in the area. Same cam follower because this clipper isn't that old. And now, put the battery back in. And we're back in business with no issues. Check the RPMs. Right on the money, 6,800 like we're supposed to be getting. So now we're fixed, we're back in business. SnapFX, I hope this video helped you out if you have this machine. If you don't have this machine, I wouldn't recommend getting it. They've had some issues with the battery, and that's the only way to operate this is with the battery. So once those batteries go, your machine's probably gonna have to go too. But I didn't see a video on how to take apart the SnapFX, and I want to address more issues that could be causing your Babyliss Clipper to shut off. So this was a 2-for-1. So till the next time, peace.